Hi and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It is time for the classic blues song breakdown for the months of October through December 2017. And I had a request a while back to go through Jimmy Reed's Baby What You Want Me to Do. And this is a great tune, especially if you're interested in the Jimmy Reed style. I have to confess that I have done some videos on the Jimmy Reed style and I made some mistakes. In fact, this song I always thought was played like this with the shuffle in E. And on further listening, I'm not sure how I missed this all these years, but I realized that I made a mistake. And so I want to teach this and set the record right. And this is a great tune. There's 3 guitar parts going on. At least I think there's 3 guitars playing on this. And what I'm going to do with this tune is do my best to separate the 3 guitars. Let's get going. It's in the key of E. And so the basic rhythm part, the low end that you hear being played on the guitar, instead of like a straight shuffle like this, it's more of what I call a honky-tonk shuffle, where if you ever heard the 1956 instrumental Honky Tonk by Bill Doggett, Billy Butler, who's playing guitar on this, does something like this. And what I'm doing is I'm picking, let me just play it all the way through. This is what's going on Baby What You Want Me to Do. He's playing this. Into a turnaround, which we'll see in a minute. So to play this, what I'm doing is I'm an E. The song is a 3-chord song. E, A, and B is the 4, or B7. B is the 5, rather. And what I'm doing is I'm putting my first finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And then I'm picking open 6th string with a downstroke with my right hand. And then I'm upstroking the 5th string. So I get the open 6th, like that. And then I'm doing the same picking pattern and putting my ring finger on the 4th fret of the 5th string. This whole time I'm playing the open 6th. And then I just take that ring finger and move it to the 5th fret of the 5th string, like this. I call that the honky-tonk rhythm. Now when you do this, if you listen to the original, it's really hard to hear like every phrase that he plays. And it sounds to me like sometimes his picking, he kind of gets both strings. Something like that. He doesn't always just get the single notes. It's a very interesting rhythm. And then when he goes to the 4, or the A, he just moves his first finger over to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Now he's picking the open A. And back to the 1. Then the bottom end, I'm listening to the song over and over again, and I think what he does for the B is he goes to a single string. Something like that. You could play something like this, but I think he's doing the single string. And he's continuing that picking pattern. Look. Something like that. I can't hear it exactly. So let me show you what I'm doing. That first part, I'm picking the open 5th string with my first finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string. The open 5th, and then I'm walking on the 5th from the 5th to the 6th fret, and I'm keeping that my first finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, and then I'm going with my pinky to the 7th fret of the 4th string, and that's what I'm hearing. Something very close to that. And then over the 4, when he goes from the 5 to the 4, you can play the same thing, and then he's back to this, as far as I can tell. Now there's a bass turnaround, or a turnaround played on the bass string, and I'm not sure which guitar player is playing this. I mean, there's no video of these guys recording this or even playing it live with 3 guitars, and it's hard to tell who's doing what. So rather than worry about that too much, I'm just going to show you these parts, because if you're playing this with other people, if you just have 2 guitars, the guy that's doing the bass stuff can also do the bass turnaround. So this part on the B again, that's what I'm hearing over the 5. And then the 4, you could just play this, or you could do this. You could play the same thing you play over the 1, or you could play the same thing you play over the 5, or some variation of it. So that is the bass part. Now when it gets to the turnaround, there's a couple of variations on this. The basic one that I hear is something like this. And what I'm doing here, I'm playing in the first position E, and I'm hammering down on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then I'm playing it open. There's like a pause there. And then I'm going to hammer on, pull off on the 5th string, 2nd fret, something like that, and wind up back on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So I'm going hammer on, pull off to the 3rd fret of the 6th string, open 6th string, back to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Now there's different ways you can play this. You might be doing something like this, where I go and then hammer on the 1st fret of the 5th string, open, then to the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then back to that. But everything he's doing with the bass turnarounds, whoever's playing guitar on this, is some variation of that basic idea. Or then when he goes to the 5, you got an open 5th, 1, 2. And basically on the 5th string here, you're walking in to a B7th chord. And I can't tell if the person playing that bass turnaround is playing that whole chord or not. It's easier to do that because you can do something like this. And then to lead into the 1 for the next verse, going from the 5th fret of the 2nd fret of the 5th string, whoops, open 4th string, 1, 2, and then that takes us back into the 1 or the E. So let's take it from the 5 to the 4 to the turnaround, and then we'll move on. And then back to the 1. So as far as the low end on this song, playing the bass rhythm, that's what I call these bass rhythms. That's what's going on throughout the whole song, pretty much. That part is steady. Now the second part, let's do the easiest of the 3 parts, is somebody is just strumming chords on this. And this is another characteristic of the Jimmy Reed shuffle. And listen to it carefully. And what I hear is an E. So when the song is on the 1, I'm hearing somebody doing some upstrokes on the 1st position E chord. I'm playing it with 2 fingers because I play a lot of country blues on the acoustic, and that's how you play an E chord, where I've got my 2nd finger getting both the 4th and 5th strings at the 2nd fret. And then that upstroke, you've got an open 1st and 2nd string. And so what I do to control it is just when I come back down with my right hand, I kind of set my right palm on the strings to mute it, or I can take my 2 fingers here, my ring finger and my pinky, and just kind of set them. I kind of do both of them like that. So that is what's played over the 1 or the E. Over the 4, the A, I think we got a bar chord, still with the upstrokes with the right hand. He's either playing that or maybe just the F shape. But that, when you play that, it's harder to control these other strings. So if you play the bar shape, you can control the sound a little bit better. So I've got my first finger barring the 5th fret, all the strings, and then I'm making an A, first position bar chord, second finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string, ring finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string, and my pinky on the 7th fret of the 4th string. So when it's over the 4, when you hear this on the bass, you're playing this. And then back to the 1. And then when he goes to the 5, he just takes that same shape over the A, move it up 2 frets to the B. And then right there, this is just my theory, that this guitar player, whoever's playing these chords, could be the person who plays this turnaround that you hear. And I'm not sure how he resolves that. That's how I would play it if I was playing by myself. But he does this, or some variations of that. Doesn't do it every turnaround, but I hear it a couple times. So this turnaround, all I'm doing is I've got my ring finger on the 4th fret of the 1st string, my second finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And I'm taking my first finger and making a D7 shape on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And that just helps me control this and keep it steady. And so I'm just sliding into it from the 3rd fret, moving it from the 4th to the 3rd, to the 2nd. And then I can do a little trill on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and then whatever else you want to do. So I hear this. But I don't know which guitar is playing that. And I don't know if this guy, if he's not playing that little, I don't know what he is playing. It's too hard to hear. But that's the turnaround. Now there's one point in the song where there's a different turnaround. It does something like this. So whoever's playing that bass turnaround must be playing this same thing too. What I'm doing is sliding on the 2nd string from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret. You might recognize this position. If you play a double stop with the open 1st string, it's a pretty common electric blues lick, but I'm just sliding the 2nd string. And what I'm doing is sliding and sliding back to the 3rd fret. 5th fret, 3rd fret, open, 2nd string, and then to the 3rd fret, 2nd fret of the 3rd string, open, and wind up on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So this whole little lick, let me play it in context from the 5. It's like that, kind of quicker. Then back into it. So again, I'm not sure which guitar player is playing this, but somebody's doing it. And then the other turnaround, you got those two turnarounds that you hear. So somebody, when the song is going, is playing these chords over the top of this. And then we have another guitar player, or maybe it has to be somebody different. It has to be 3 on this. You hear little riffs like this. And you hear one at the beginning when the song first starts. You hear something like that. And I'm not sure exactly what that second part is, but I hear this. And I'm not sure how they're doing it. It sounds almost like a hammer-on picking the open 4th string and then bringing the 1st and 2nd finger down on the 1st fret and 2nd fret of the 4th string. And then doing this double stop trill where I'm hammering on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, but I'm also picking the open 2nd string, so like this. And I don't know if they start that from the 5th string 2nd fret. That could be how it starts. It's hard to hear exactly what's going on. Or you could just start from the open 4th. And that's the little lick that you hear at the very beginning when they first start the song. And then he does this, so it's... He does some little lick like that, and I can't really hear it. I'm thinking open 2nd string. And then a double stop at the 2nd fret, 2nd and 3rd string. And maybe he gets the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then hammers on to the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and winds up there. So like this. Something like that, or maybe he just kind of does an open, does the double stop, open, and then hammers on, like this. You can listen to it and see what you think. And then, the other thing I hear pretty much throughout the song is, especially during the first solo, when Jimmy Reed takes the first harmonica solo, you hear this guitar player playing these little licks like this. And what I'm doing is starting on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and doing that climb that we've seen before. So I'm hammering on, double stop, open 2nd string, 1st fret of the 3rd string, to the 2nd fret of the 4th string, double stop at the 2nd fret, 2nd and 3rd strings, and then doing another double stop with the hammer on there. So like this. And you can vary how much you hammer on, pull off with the 1st finger. And then when the tune goes over the 4 during the solo, you hear this. So what I'm doing here is playing over this bar chord shape, and I'm starting on the 7th fret of the 5th string, and then I'm going 5, 6, 7 on the 4th string, and then this little hammer on just over the A shape, my 1st finger barring the 2nd and 3rd strings at the 5th fret, and then I'm hammering on with my 2nd finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string, but I'm also getting the 2nd string, so like this. And then I'm going to get the A, which is at the 7th fret of the 4th string, and then another double stop, this time at the 7th fret, back into that. So the whole lick. And then when the tune goes over the 5, the B, you're just going to play that same lick over the 5. To the 4, to the 1. Back in to the song. Now thinking back on this, I'm trying to think if I've forgotten any parts of it. I don't know if I have, but if I have, I'll maybe add a video on at the end. But whoever requested this tune, this is a fun song to play. And if you only have 2 guitar players, you can work it out so you can play these parts. You know, just talk to each other, find out who's going to do what, so you don't both play the same thing. But you listen to these Jimmy Reed recordings, and it's like an early Leonard Skinner or something, you know, the 3-guitar army. And it's so cool how they do this. They just weave in and out of each other seamlessly. Really simple stuff, but it sounds fantastic. And so if you want to play Baby What You Want Me to Do, this is, I think, how you do it. Again, I'm no expert, I'm not positive, I just listen to this stuff and try to figure it out. That first bass rhythm, I think that's pretty sure that's what's going on. I used to play it more like that, but if you want to play it like the old record, you got to do the honky tonk, which is pretty cool by itself. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. This is the song breakdown for October, December. I do have some more requests that I'm working on, and I hope to get out there. So if you've requested a song for this part, just be patient. Again, it's just me by myself doing this, and I have a full-time job. And I will try to get some more songs out there that you've requested as soon as I can. Thanks again, and I hope to see you soon. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. Take care.